All glory go to the Creator. It's an honor to be here today. But I love the theme, America and healing. Well, first let's think about something. Where did America come from? Have it always been America? Or was it just created to be America? Who are the real Americans? America keep changing and changing and changing. Let's go back in time when the American Indians looked like I look and roamed the southeast part of the United States freely. I love what the mayor said. We have to tell the truth. We cannot heal America till we fix the foundation. Can we start right there?
Now, another group I want to talk about is the Choctaw Indians. I thought this was dope. I love the fact that they included the Native Americans. You know, some people are saying that they weren't included, very long. They kind of came and left. They knew what was going on. They knew that the one guy was a vampire and they were trying to warn the couple. The couple didn't want to listen. Once they saw the sun was setting, they got to talking in Choctaw and they got the hell up out of there. I am not mad at them. They said, y'all gonna have to hold your own nuts. We try to warn y'all, deuces, and they broke out.
So I hear in this movie, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear in this movie, they show you the so-called Choctaw Indians in the movie, which, from what I hear, are basically the Native American Indians of today. Okay, so what I wish they would have shown was the real story of who the real Choctaw Indians were.
My people right now, the Choctaw,
is the chief of the Choctaw Indian tribe. When Katrina arrived, Gillum and part of her tribe fled to Arkansas. The chief is fighting now to bring her tribe back to Louisiana.
my people been here forever. This is home. This is my motherland. My burial grounds are here, not too far up the road. I tend the burial grounds, me and my family. To me, most of my history is passed down to me under that tree right there. The things I lost, money came by. I lost the trees. I lost my animals. The old cypress still made it. I love that cypress tree. My grandfather always would tell me about that cypress, never cut that cypress. And the storm didn't even take it down. We're going to have to heal ourselves just like this tree doing. When you actually show them that the indigenous people were actually my color, as I have a habit telling people, a cocoa brown, or a brown piece of leather well put together. I have a lot of ways of using slangs to tell people that we are still here because we were not weak. We were here before DeSoto and Christopher Columbus. You have to be strong to make it through those disasters. During Katrina, I told them Katrina was not a Category 5. My people had came through some Category 5s, and we survived them. So Katrina, to me, was going to be an easy thing to survive. Because when you're been hit by a category named DeSoto, Category 5, and it lingers around for 400 to 500 years, steady beating on the shore, and it just won't move, that's a disaster. Not a disaster that just come and go, but a disaster that's still lingering.
I wish they would have shown the real Indians. The real Indians. You see what I'm saying? The real Indians of the land. So I heard they wasn't in the movie that long. And that's probably because they know the real story of who the Indians are.
But I love the fact that the Indians were there. I love when they rode up on the juke joint. Like, it was just cool to just see like the whole Indian aspect being woven into the story. You know, I know a lot of natives and indigenous people online are saying that they wish that they had more of a story. They wish it was longer. Well, you know, that's when you have to talk to your own community, you know, to direct and tell y'all's own story.
I went and watched Sinners last night, and I think we can all agree that we wanted more of the indigenous lore, but there was honestly so many storylines that I wanted more of. Like,
it makes sense to me that if Hollywood or one of these big film companies is helping to fund your movie, I can see them saying, hey, listen, since we're helping you, put this part of the story in here like this. Oh, I know you know the truth, but if we're going to help you with this hefty sum of money and push this movie into a #1 category, do us this favor and put this part of the story in here like this. We know you know the truth. We know the truth. But I mean, you wash my hands, I wash yours type thing. Makes sense to me though.
I could have watched 10 hours of that. I feel like they dropped some gems.
So the cover is being pulled back. The cover is being pulled back on these little stories. And I mean, what can you say? Until we start filming our own films and telling our own story, someone will always continue to tell our story.
At the signing with the president, when he said the Negro no longer has to go through this humiliation.
And now the Negro families no longer suffer the humiliation of being turned away because of their race.
Check this one out. Did he not just say the Negro, right?
A Negro.
But when you open up the actual act and read it, it addresses the American Indian. He's telling you who's the Indian is. Because in federal policy, when you open up the 1968 Civil Rights Bill, the American Indian Civil Rights Act, it's titled to Indians. Then you have to ask yourself, they're saying Negro, Negro, Negro.
Negro, 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 Negro.
And the federal government classified these rights and these policies towards the American Indian. The federal government been telling you. You just have to look and read it for yourself.
I wanted more of, like, I could have watched 10 hours of that. I feel like they dropped some gems and then we're out of there. But I hope that we do get more.
Because this wasn't necessarily about the indigenous people. This was a part of it, but it was mainly about, you know, the black folks.
Indigenous black people have been in the Americas for thousands of years before slavery and Christopher Columbus. In Columbus's own diary, his son Ferdinand Columbus confirmed that his father did in fact meet black tribes upon reaching the New World. Explorers like Giovanni Verrazzano, when he got to the Carolinas, he met the Cape Fear Indians, who he said resembled the Ethiopians of Africa. Explorers like Hernando de Soto, when he got to Florida in 1512, he started warring with the Florida Indians, who he described as big, black, and had woolly hair. Also, in the book called Primitive Black Nations of America, Constantine Raffines points out that the black Indians met the Spaniards in Louisiana in 1543. We've always been here. We are the indigenous people.
She keeps bringing up that these so-called Africans ran into these tribes. They ran into these tribes.
I like to use people words against them. They tell you that these so-called runaway Africans blend in with indigenous tribes of America, right? So if a dark-skinned African can blend in with indigenous tribes, what the indigenous tribes look like, y'all?
What did those Indians look like then?
Why do you think the U.S. government don't even argue this? Why do you think the U.S. government never is arguing this? You find people, everyday regular people that can't change nothing in your life are the ones that are trying to argue with you on this.
Hold on, Bones.
Look in the U.S. policy, it tells you.
Well, wait a minute, Bones. Let's run that one back. Let's just run that one back. All right, so if we give it to you that these so-called West Africans was running away, and then they were blending in with the tribes, the Native American tribes over here. What did them Indians, do y'all follow me? Are y'all following me here? What did them Indians look like?
So, but I love the fact that they did include the indigenous people, because we do need to hear more of their stories. These are the people who were here. They're the original settlers of this country.
There are land papers before slavery in my people's name here. How was it? Because when the Europeans came here, what Roger is talking about, we gave a lot of people some spots to settle, but they took those spots and wanted bigger spots. My people right now, the Choctaw, they took on the end from our people, I'm talking about the end of the big take, 25 million acres of land by removing my people from here to Oklahoma. That was the last of their land, 25 million acres of land. And it was people that looked like me. What Andrew Jackson did was he appointed some Europeans. I want you to know how I'm here, brother. My grandfathers were a generation of chiefs. I come from a line of chiefs. I'm from a royal family of chiefs. What the Europeans did was took my people, took the women and the children, and some European that Andrew Jackson was friends with, appointed them as chiefs, left the original chiefs back here, took the white chief that he appointed, which into Oklahoma is, as you know today, as Indian Territory. Indian Territory was set up by mixed breeds, okay?
Yeah.
The people that signed the treaty was either non-native or mixed breed.
And we know so little about them, so I love the fact that they had the Choctaw, come in, and they were trying to warn of what was to come, and they got up out of there.